Alright. Let's make sure everything's rolling. Looks like yes. So, I haven't been on in a bit. Not that many people are watching my stuff yet, but I had a little kerfluffle with my game pad. I still was using, and I'm trying to get it fixed, but I using a regular keyboard at the moment. I used a FlexiGlow Cyber Sniper. I used to use a Fang from Z-Board, and that broke, and I had a hard time finding another one. So the Cyber Sniper looked really similar, so I bought one of those. I really like it because the numbers are small for the power tray, and it just made it easier to use than just a keyboard, and the buttons for the movement are larger so I don't mishit anything, because I get a little, especially now that I'm older, I'm really, some of my nerves aren't what they used to be because of medical stuff, and I'm a little twitchy. So I'm using a keyboard now. My keyboard that I have, it's a HyperX something or another. I bought quite a while back just because it doesn't have a full 10 key. I like the shorter keyboards because I use the pad for my game, and I'm gonna try to get that back up and running. But I can still play. I'm just not as fast and smooth as I am with the FlexiGlow. So yeah, but the event I think is now over. The Spring Fling Valentine's Day event ended today. Got a lot of enhancement sets from that for my tunes, because I got one more page. All of these guys here and here that I'm slow rolling. I have a feeling this year's April Fool's event might not be as populated because I'd forgotten last year they did the extra XP thing on Reunion. So we had a lot of crossover people coming in from other servers, leveling tunes, because it was, we just had more population because of that. Because I think, I can't remember if we had 1.5 or maybe it was just 75. I can't remember, 75% or 150% or something like that extra. And then during that particular event, there's even more. And then if you get the XP boost from the start vendor, you have even more. So that's how come I could level somebody from creation to cap in 2 hours. This year it probably won't be quite that fast. And not that I'm gonna, unless I just get a wild hair and I come up with a tune to make, I probably won't. And all of these, my tanks, I won't be doing them. I've got a list of all my other tunes. Like, I'll probably start with Pop Rocks, because she's one of my highest. And then I think my one Corruptor, or Lots of Watts Dominator, she's up there pretty high. But also Zaptastic, I think. Did I already pass her? I'll probably, yeah, oh no, she's just level 10. I thought I had somebody else in the 30s. 26, I know she's slated early on the list, but I've got them on a list by, Miss Tingle, there it is, 32. I've got them in order by level. This guy won't get, because he's purely going on missions with 2 of my family members on the villain side, so we only play him I only play him when they're on with them. We did a little bit during the event, and we're almost 43. So that should hit 43 pretty soon. I didn't know. I thought they kind of weren't going to play much anymore. So I made, because I really like the dark power set, and I like my dark scrapper. So I made a hero side one called Night Fist in German, Nachtfast. I'm probably pronouncing that totally wrong, but yeah. And I've been slow playing him. He's just at 12, but it's a fun one to play and build. So I'll have a villain and a hero one of those. But yeah, yeah, I got a ton of those Cupid Crush sets. I think I have 32 full 6-piece sets, and then a bunch of overflow. I got a sheet for them, and it was really weird because, I mean, I know I slotted some, but since the slotting of the ones, I mean, the one I didn't hardly get very many of was the accuracy damage recharge. I only got 16 of those. After I had filled the other 16 set, so that's a total of 32. But yeah, and then the accuracy damage endurance reduction, I only got 17 of those. So they were the next one, and then like the accuracy damage and recharge, the quad as I called it, only got an extra 7. And then the special with the damage confuse only got an extra 12 on top of the 32. Like I say, I got 32 full sets. And then the damage recharge, I got an extra 22. And the end recharge, I got an extra 24. So whatever my friends and family don't need, if they didn't get enough to make full sets or need some stuff, I'll give them some stuff, and then I'll use whatever I got left to fill in my other guys. So now I just have to decide what I want to do today. I've been thinking about it, and I don't know. I'm looking at maybe some Dark Astoria stuff. I went through and did a little maintenance earlier, and yeah, I'm looking at my tanks right now to see who really needs some incarnate stuff. Yeah, Exxon is really close on some stuff. Fungus and Lightning Rod are my least off. Well, and Blazer Fist, she's not very hot. Helen Twiceler. Yeah, those are my last villains ones. My heroes are all looking pretty good except for Umbra. He doesn't have a ton. Whoa, boy. What to do? Well, let's go look at just look at Lightning Rod right quick and make sure I'm current and up to date. I thought I did all this the other day on most of them, but I might not have. Get all the extra stuff off off my inspiration tray and on the black market, or the auction house, or whatever you want to call it. Woo! Boink! Wow! I overloaded the auction house. I still got some to pull off of there. Won't let me do it because it was too many. So let's look at power incarnate. Yeah, 7 Oh, so yeah, he's got those unlocked, and those are at 7. Yeah. Where? Oh, let's look at that first. Just salvage. Yeah, only 26 and 3. So he's looks like 3 and a smidge away from an incarnate level, or not an incarnate, a vet level, and it'll be level 3, so I'll get a bunch of the other things. Yeah, dang it. Alright. What other do I have? Just enchanted sands. Jeez, man. Wow. And what is his contact in DA currently? Oh man, really? It's Max? Oh, no. Sister Solaris. There it is. Okay, so he's. It's really weird. After Max, you get Sister Solaris, which is in Cimarora. So, you gotta go there. But it deals with Mott, so technically it's a Dark Astoria story arc. Okay. So, now the question is can he get in the Midnighters Club? Is that achievements? Nope. Accomplishment? Yep. Alright, cool. So, let's see, man. It's been so long since I've used these. That's Mercy, Port Oaks, St. Mart's. Oh. Let's go to St. Mart's and see where that is. See where we come out. Yeah, on each end of the Pocket D main thing, there's portals to other, or doors to other zones. Usually they're the back of a truck. Sometimes they're a door. It just depends. There's usually always some Pocket D flyers around the truck or the door or the, yeah. And yep, you can see right there. And of course on the map it says Pocket D. So yeah, not too bad. I could have just teleported to the base, but I hadn't been to this one in a while, so I just got stuck on the fence. Okay. Oh, what? Dingbat. I really wanted Cap, but I don't think Cap had one, so, oh well. I should have just long range teleport. It's been a long day. Not really. I haven't been up very long. That's because I was up all morning finishing up the event. I took an afternoon nap. It is now 3:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So there's no real portal to Cimarora except through the Midnighters Club, and I should have went to Sharkhead, but I just was wonking. There's also, if you haven't got the badge, but you have access to Night Ward, the Midnight Mansion there, you go in there, and you'll immediately get the Midnighters badge, and then you can go in there and use that to port to Cimarora. But since I'm in here already, I'll just go to Shark. Or not Shark. Did I go to Shark? Oh, man. I did. Oh, boy. It's just one of those days, isn't it? Isn't it? I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I got a zone one way or the other, so I'll just go back to the base. I meant cap. I gotta go to cap, because that's where the Midnighters Club's at. On the red side, cap. Luckily, the portal's right in the university quad, and that's where the Midnighters Club is. Right over there. There's Ashley McKnight. If you want to open it up the mission way, you talk to her at 30 or 28 or whatever. You get her as a contact, and she'll do a mission, and then she'll give you access to the club. And then you get the badge, the Midnighters badge, and yeah. Oh, I got super jump on. I'm like, why am I jumping so high? So, here is Cimarora. I'm pretty sure I got this badge then here. Yep, okay. So, you just click on the crystal, and you go to Cimarora. I think I might have done a few of these on an earlier recording, maybe a stream, I'm not sure. But he hasn't been here much, so so if you don't know exactly where she's at, and to make it easier, you just click on her as a contact and it puts it on your nav bar. And I was facing that way because I knew where she was. She's on this island over here that they added for this. There's a couple exploration badges there, and then there's a bunch more in the zone, so yeah. Put my air jump on because I'll need it to get up over this rock. Fulbus Point. And there's, yep, got that badge. Okay, let's turn this off now. And then there's Sister Solaris. And of course, you talk to her. And go through all the text. And, what am I setting at? -1. Yeah, I'll probably bump that up because I'm a tank. Probably put it at +1. Alright. So, investigate the Island of Death. So it's kind of weird. It's down below. When you look at it, it looks like it's on the rock, but it's actually in a little cave. There's a dock down there and a ship. And you go to the cabin part of the ship, click on the door, and that's the mission entrance. Dun dun dun. And map unavailable. It'll be available in a moment once you go in the little gate over here, or the little tunnel entrance over here, or cave entrance, whatever you want to call it. I know where it's at. I've done this a lot, so yeah. And you finally meet the Dream Doctor. I kind of think he's a dork. The way they wrote him, he's a dork because he thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. He sounds like he thinks he knows what's best for everybody. So, you can go through all this stuff and get some background lore information or whatnot, or I just cut to the chase. And yeah, I had an extra click in there because I forgot to click the bottom instead of the top because I thought it was the top one, but it wasn't. So now you see the maps there. It's a pretty straightforward little cavern map. He will be your helper. I say that with air quotes because he's not much of a helper, really. Well, I mean, he does. He kills everything really fast, but he also sometimes runs up and aggro stuff. So if you're not a tank, be a little cautious with him, because he can aggro. Like if groups are really close together, he'll aggro both groups. Not a problem, he will. Maybe I should have done +2. I'll go back to -1 when I do the final mish, because I want to get the badge for it, and you have to defeat everything yourself without the help of the Cimarrons. Yeah, I don't do a lot of damage, so I set it at -1. I can survive it. I just don't want to slog through and like take an hour to do the thing, because there's so many people to defeat in it. And the second group and the third groups are the worst, and then you gotta face Romulus, Acaris, and a couple Cyclops and Minotaurs. I think it's usually 2 of one and 1 of the other, if I remember correctly. Yay, Dream Doctor's stuck. He'll make it here eventually. By that time I'll have at least 1 down and almost both of them down. Alright. Yeah. I mean, this one starts off pretty easy, and then there's one portion that's, I mean, again, easy for tank, not so easy for some more squishy builds. If you stay back from the tentacles and just shoot them, it's much better. But then you'll get some Talons ads, Talons of Vengeance ads, and yeah. So the thing you're looking for is out here on this little island in the blood pool. And yeah, that's it. And this first mish is pretty cake, pretty straightforward. Not really much to it. Good tea. And of course, since you that was only her first mission, you don't have no call button. It's not like she would have a cell phone anyway, but she's an oracle or something, so. And now through some of the verbiage, Mott will interject words, and they'll be trying to play with your mind. So yeah, you'll see the caption, "Kill you," and "Kill you, no hope." And if you read Lightning Rod, you return. And with the source of evil that I have seen in my dreams. So he interjected that in there. Sister Solaris didn't say that, of course, so it's kind of weird, but yeah. I'll handle it. So yeah, this one is attend the meeting. The door for it's down here. This is where it starts to get interesting. And you don't really know that yet. And here is the Mott still trying to play with your mind. So it says meet with the Cimarrons. This one is a little funky because they don't have some of the things once you complete them fall off the list up here, and that's something I'm sure they're probably hopefully gonna fix. If nobody's brought it to their attention, I would be surprised, but I don't know. So you meet with them. Once you get up here, they just start chatting with each other and telling you what's going on, and yeah, lots of text bubbles, and then all of a sudden there you go, you get this from the cares and the talons of vengeance, and they're gonna come and ambush us. 3 or 4 waves. These guys will help us out. Sometimes they go down. Just depends upon what you're set at, and how fast you can kill them. Whether your helpers stay alive, but it's not necessary for them. So see, now it says to fend off the talons of vengeance. And they come from all different directions. Well, the group comes from the same direction, but they'll come from all points of the compass around this top temple area. So you never know which side they're coming from, is what I was trying to say there. Again, been a long day. I'm just getting started, waking up, so it hasn't been that long today. It just depends upon how you count it, but yeah, whatever. That's what I get for being a night owl, but I like it. There's another group. I'm missing this elementalist. There, I'm finally hitting her. There you go. It's debuffed? What's that? No, that's defense. Okay, so now it says, see that it still says fend off the talon of vengeance, but that's done. So now it's speak to Sister Solaris to get to Cimarora, which is the mainland. This is the Isle of Phobos or something. So there's Sister Solaris. So we just talked to her and take me to Cimarora, and now you're gonna jump off the boat and save Marcus Valerius again. Or, well, no, this is the first time. The second time is when he goes out to sea and all the Kraken tentacles. See, they should have had that fend off the talons of vengeance drop, and also meet. Well, now it, but yeah, see, it still says meet with the Cimarorans, fend off the talons of vengeance, speak with Sister Solaris. That's done. We just saved Marcus, so that's done too. So that's why this can be a little confusing. So there's 5 monsters of Romulus, Augustus to defeat, 6 Cimarorans to save. That's our current objective. I'll put the map back up. I took that down so we could see that text. This is the village of the main island. There's the square with the well where Marcus usually is at in the standard map, but this is an instance. So, and everything's on fire, so it's smoky and hard to see. There's lots of groups of talons here, but they're usually just white, like these are, just minion. Good for XP, not necessary for the quest, the mission. Quest, ooh, there's fantasy RPG rearing its ugly head. The groups with the civilians to save, the Cimarorans to save, usually always have a lieutenant that is a Harridan with them. And that's what, if I'm having trouble finding it, and there's one right there, I can see the civilian Cimarroran kneeling there, and that one of those is a Harridan. Will calm them as soon as we take this Elementalist down, and tab, and the next one, and there's the Harridan. So yeah, they, like I say, I've never seen one be one of the other Talon lieutenants. They're always Harridans with these civilians. And then, yeah, you take them out, he'll stand up and run away, go to safety, and you'll get a click. And we'll say 5 to save now. It's the first couple times doing this, you just don't have to pay any attention to the stuff on the bottom. It's the top two things. And then there is a Minotaur. So there's Minotaurs and Cyclopses in here. Some of them are minions, some of them are lieutenants, and those are the 5 monsters of Romulus that you have to defeat. There's another one up there. There's usually a couple others around, or maybe another one around the main square, and then a couple hidden sometimes. Oh, there's another Cimarroran, and there's the Harridan over there. But we're kind of wanting to do a little bit of XP because we don't have all of our incarnate slots open, and we want to just do this for the end bonus, incarnate salvage too. I really should have went ahead and started it at -1, but I'll keep it until we get after this one, because I think the next one is the Kraken tentacles. So yeah, we'll probably put it at -1. Those are kind of considered GMs in a way, or monsters. It doesn't say giant monster, so they have a lot of hit points. So I'll ease it down to negative just so I can fight those faster and just get through it. And then after that, I'll have to do the final one too, which again, there's a bunch of these guys, and it just makes it quicker because they can't really hurt me that much, but they just have a huge amount of hit points, a lot of defense. See, there was 2 here. I didn't see the other one at first when I was way back, so this will get 2 out of the way, and then there's this Cyclops there and a Cyclops there, so there's 4 of the 5 right here in the square. The other one's probably back up here somewhere, over here somewhere, so yeah. Not that big of a deal. Oh, that's why I'm not getting my thing. My power of the, or form of the, was turned off. Probably because when I teamed up the other day, I teamed up with somebody of lower level and then didn't turn it back on after I got back to 50. See, there's another one. There's a Harridan. She just said something. You can see it. Yep. And that's the other thing. If you get kind of close, they're on the other side of a wall. Sometimes they'll do a text bubble like that, a chat bubble, either here or you can see it through the wall, and then you know that, hey, oh, there's one right there. Sweet. Makes it easy, because this place is, dare I say, a labyrinth. Oh, not quite, but we won't even get into that. I haven't done those yet. The labyrinth of fog. I will eventually. Oh, there's the other. Oh, he wasn't way back over there. He was tucked over here. We'll get him right quick because the other 2 are up top. See, they have this weird thing for teleport, but tanks can have some resistance to that. So, just a word of warning to some of you ranged people when you go up against these guys. Sometimes you might find yourself right in their face, and they've got a lot of melee, some heavy hits. So be prepared and run away as fast as you can, because unless you have some major defense going on, you're gonna want to keep them at range. Yeah, that's weird. They were all in the square. I usually find at least one tucked somewhere else, not so in the square. See, he tried to teleport me there, but it didn't work because I'm a tank. Sometimes they'll teleport me. It just depends on how good their roll is. Oh, no. Alright, phone call, of course. One of my friends one of their friends had a car fender bender, and they want me to look at their bumper because that's about all that happened, I guess, and they just don't know if it's need to be fixed. And yeah, you can see do I have a dot? Must have, yeah, a dot. But finished that guy, and yeah, I wasn't really doing anything there, so. And then the other one is right over there, so let's go take out this Cyclops. And then we just have 3 more Cimarrons. And one of them's probably right there, because you can see we got some text chat bubbles. Oh shoot, I did the wrong. Can I get that right? No, I didn't. Oh well, no bad. No problem. My bad. Yeah, when they get a little sparkly, sometimes they are a little more resistant to stuff. So you either have to hit them a lot to get through that, or wait if you're not doing enough damage. And usually I don't do a ton of damage on a tank, but yep. There he is. Where's the Harridan now? Where'd she go? Oh, there she is. I went by her and aggroed her because of my tankiness. So she came over and said hello. Now we'll have 2 to save. I really have to look up my targeting macro. I usually don't have too much issue anymore, but I've been doing the map so much, I just know where they are. But sometimes, if you have a flight, a jetpack or something, it's nice. You can kind of just fly around and tab target, and if you find a Harridan or you see the chat bubble, because they're really hard to see with all the smoke, but you can tab target them. And that was probably my friend's friend. There's one. Okay. Texting me her number so we can set up a little. Oh no, that was my friend sending me a picture of the car. Oh, some of the covering has come off. Yeah, that might be an easy fix, as long as it's not compressed. Yeah, the tab doesn't look like it's broken. It looks like it just popped over the bolt. Alright, let's go down and zap these guys. That'll be one to find. And see, I kind of forgot about this mish. I should have not done the reveal, because it would make it easier to tell where I haven't been to try to find the last guy. But oh, there they are. Alright. Last one. This will be a complete. And I'm going to have to go AFK for a moment. And there it is. Okay. I'll get somewhere up on top of a building or something where there's nobody. And I'll be back in a moment. Gotta go check on something. So, we will exit this mission. I didn't exit because I didn't know how long I'd be. I was hoping I wasn't very long. Or for too long. And not in a mission, you'll get logged out. Of course. Oh, okay. So, yep. So yeah, that's what this one is. So I'm going to adjust my size back to -1. And I forgot I had all these. Let's get those. And let's put some of these back now. And this one is again down in the little cave where the ship is portaged. And now you're going to be shipped out in the sea, and you'll see some wrecked ships. And then the ship in the center that's still whole is the one Marcus is on. It will be surrounded by tentacles of the Kraken. Release the Kraken! And that's why I changed it. And you're like, well, there's only 3. Yeah, right now. Yeah, I got how many hit points? 2570. I have probably just over 2,000. I have as many hit points as I do. It's ridiculous. Right, and it says monster. And yeah, affiliated with Nose, or the Kraken. But, you know, once you get the initial 3 down, I couldn't remember how many there exactly was at the first one, you'll get a few waves of Talons of Vengeance, and a few more tentacles, and then a few more waves of Talons of Vengeance, and unless you're super fast, you'll get some more tentacles before you get through the next 3 or 4, however many spawn. So yeah. That's why I turned it down, because I just, and you don't get any XP for these. So that's the other reason. I forgot that too. I think you get some for the Talons, but there's not that many of them. So it's kind of like just mow through them and get done with the mish. You know, it's just better, easier that way, since you don't get any XP. If I got XP for these, then maybe I'd have left it at +1, but you don't get any. Oh shoot. Ah, I did it already. Dang it, it went off. No big deal. Now I can do it. Yeah, so now you see, yeah, we'll get a couple little waves of Talons. And they'll be blue because I dumbed it down. I don't want to dumb it down, but I call it dumbing it down. And if you're quick, you'll get these done, and then I think they'll just spawn. Yep. So we got another 2, and then there's more Talons immediately that harass you, harry you. And yeah, see, you get they're the only ones you get XP for, and there's really not very many of them. So to me, as one of my old co-worker compatriots would say, the juice isn't worth. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Yeah, I can't talk. Let's get her over here so I can get her in the AoE. Except she's ranged, so she's gonna set back and shoot me with arrows. Oh, God. Take her out. Although we might get another spawn. Let's go. Oh, shoot. Yeah, okay. After, yeah. So we got more tentacles. And I'm probably going to get some more. A few more talons, maybe. Maybe not. I can't remember if there's another one. Or not. Oh, yeah. There's a raider right there. And here comes another one. Yeah. Maybe she'll get caught in the AoE. Does she get caught in the AoE? No, of course not. And more tentacles. Isn't this great? Yeah, see? That's why this one's just a pain in the butt. I would almost auto-complete it. Just because it's... And a few more talons. They were close enough, they got in my AoE. See, if you're not a... You know, if you don't have a lot of defense, and you're melee, and these guys are whacking away at you because they're close by. I mean, look, they're doing 87, 87. That one I dodged, you know, because I'm a tank and I got good defense. But if you're not doing that, you're just, you know, you're going to be face first on floor. FFOF. Alright, let's go over here and get this one away. Oh, I got that one aggroed. Maybe he'll stop. Yeah, still got 2, 4, 5 more after this one. Good God. Yeah, man. I think one of my new things for this is just to go ahead and auto-complete this one. Just ridiculous. I'm gonna get aggro from that one back there. No. Yep, I did. I think he flashed out at me. Yep. These are basically like the Luska tentacles in a way, but maybe not as potent, of course, because you're supposed to do that with a crew. I bet I get both of these guys. Maybe not. Well, there we got the one closest, but not the third one back there. And again, if they gave us XP for these, this wouldn't be bad. It's one of those things that I just, you know, like, what were the designer of this mission thinking when they put in something that has as much, you know, health as a tank, or more health than a tank, and you get nothing for it. I mean, I'd rather just auto-complete, get the mission bonus, and get it done. And I will start doing that from now on, because the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm talking myself into it. I bet if I go back, I just didn't get that much from the talons, because there weren't very many. I mean, Just, yeah, kind of stupid. I mean, I can kind of see them not giving some of the XP they give for some of the pets. Or ads from like the Banished Pantheon Death Shamans, the Shadow Hunter Hounds, you know, the force field generators from whatchamacallit, Sky Raiders and stuff like that, because, I mean, you know, they're mechanical, some of them are mechanical constructs, and they're like one or two shots and they're dead, but then there are some pets that they give you, like the gears from the Clockwork Princes and some of the other pets. They give you, it's not a lot of XP, but it's a little bit of XP because they're usually one-hitter quitters. One hit and they're down, but you know, it's just, I don't know, man. Again, just not cool. Not cool that I have to beat on this thing for, you know, 2 minutes and I get jack. You know. And I should get some mission bonus when I exit because I got a caller. I hope. If I don't get any mission bonuses, again, that's another reason why. There, I got it, yeah. Speak with Sister Solaris, and yeah, you can't just call her, you gotta speak with her. Okay, I'm at -1, so I'm good for this next one. Because this is the finale. So you don't ever get a call button for her, really. Because there's no cell phones back in ancient Rome. Oh, swallowed wrong. Ow, that hurt. Oh, man. Ugh. But yeah, that's technically Cimarora is, you've gone back in time. This is not modern day world that you just teleported to. You've gone back in time. So here is the finale, and you have a choice. If you say no, you will stay behind, guard the town, I'll handle the army alone, you get a badge. It is not easy. It's just like the Dream Doctor one. It is not easy. I got another text. So, be prepared. There we go. Alright, texting done. So yeah, there's 5 or 6 groups of Talons of Vengeance with about 4 or 5 lieutenants in there, and 6 or 8, maybe more, minion in a group, a tight group. So they're gonna aggro to you and hit you hard. If you're in a group, it's not so bad. If you're a tank or a brute, it's not so bad. If you're a mastermind, it's not so bad. As long as you can control your pets good and you play your mastermind really well. They do fly. So if you're ranged and you fly, there's some of them, not all of them fly, but some of them fly. So they will come up to you if they don't have ranged, and some of them have ranged and some of them don't. But the ones that, if you think you can keep them at range, you'll be sadly mistaken, because some of them will fly. And then after you get through those 5 or 6 groups, there's 4 or 5 groups of monsters, the Cyclopses and the Minotaurs. And some are lieutenants and some are minion. I can't remember, I think there's 5 or 6 per group. And they hit really hard. If you're ranged and you can stand their teleport thing, you know, that they try to bring you in, because they're all pretty much melee. They do throw the rocks, so they have a little bit of range. But if you can stay at range, it's really nice. If you have really good defense, like a tank or a brute, you can stand them for the most part. And then after that, I think there's 3 groups of Talon leaders that have just as much or more people around them as the first couple groups did, but there's only 3 groups of them. But they are very potent, as you will see momentarily. And then not Marcus, but Romulus and the Karis and a couple Cyclops or Minotaurs, or a little mix of both, are up on a sky walkway thing that you have to take a door up to, and then you'll be pretty close to them, but they shouldn't aggro immediately. But it is really hard to just pull some of them and not all of them. I have done it inadvertently, where I either fell and died or fell and survived, and only the monsters came down. Romulus and the Karis stayed up top, but sometimes they all come down, so it's kind of a hit or miss thing. So I will say no, stay behind, guard the town. I want the badge. It'll ask you to make sure you're sure. I'm sure I will go it alone, because also I'm just a glutton for punishment. So now, you'd think she would have been the door, but no, you gotta go back down to the ship. And yeah. Alright. So kind of the same, it's the same island thing, but it's the part before you get to the town, or the offside place on the one side, kind of. And there they are. You see, there's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And if you do it at, again, equal level or +1, those white lieutenants are going to be yellow, and they hit really hard. I mean, they hit really hard. So, yeah. If you can nuke them, it's really good. I don't really have a nuke on my tank. You know, if I had the judgment powered up, I could nuke them with that. But I don't think... Oh, hey, looky there. I guess I do have that. I just didn't craft them, and I had them crafted. Well, now I got a nuke. Sweet. No, they're in trouble now. Not really, but let's see, which one of these do I want to do away with? I don't really use that anymore, so I'll just remove it from tray. Oh, that's an auto anyway, I think. Yeah, so I don't need to put it in the tray. Alright, so power sync, energize. Alright, so I'm going to run in there and hit my ion charge. Oh, it's ranged. Ooh, hey. Well, it don't matter. I'm going to have to get up close and personal anyway, so. Wow, that was nice. That did a lot of damage. And see, they do this eruption thing, and man, oh man, it's a mess. It's a big mess. Creates a lot of havoc on your screen. I mean, if you turn your particle thing down, I guess it's not so bad. But I like the effects and stuff. I think it's cool. So hardly ever do that. My rig's good enough to run this stuff without, you know, giving me too much lag, unless it's like during MSR. I might get a smidge of lag here and there, but even there I don't get much lag. So that doesn't work too bad. Then it just takes a little bit, because if you want to do it again, you got it charged up. I do have this going, so I could go in here and hopefully, yeah, and then I'll just nuke them here in a moment, or save it for the next one yeah. And I mean, Lightning's armor, you know, I don't know, a lot of people don't use it. I think it's lightning, right? Yeah, electric armor, basically. I mean, I don't know. I don't see a ton of them. Maybe. I should look and see if there's a thing, or maybe try to do a survey on. I think actually the server did that, and it tells you how many like sets, or I don't know if it went by exactly the archetype, you know, the primary stuff, or if it just went by how many tankers there are, how many brutes there are, and stuff like that. I'll have to go back and look at that, because that would be interesting to see how many. I personally feel I see more stone, invol, and oh god, what's the other one? Willpower maybe. You know, some ice. I see a few ice tanks, but yeah, I just don't, you know, don't see a ton of electric, and a couple of the other ones that, I mean, I've got one of everything on the tank, and then a ton of the ice, and you know, a lot of people don't think fire's that good. For some stuff it is, and some stuff it's not. She's running away. But yeah, and fire can be really end heavy at first, like dark. Dark is really end heavy. Oh, bio armor. Seen a lot of bio armor, and I didn't really like bio armor until I got into the 40s. It wasn't bad, and it wasn't like that it was weak. It just seemed like I was taking more damage than I thought I should be. So I don't know. I just kind of was like, this you know, it doesn't seem bad and I'm not dying, but it just seems a little weak. And sometimes burst damage can take you down, and then, you know, yeah, I have to pop a heal every now and again no matter what on a lot of the tanks, but it just didn't seem as durable. And then all of a sudden in the 40s here, or maybe late 30s, early 40s, it was sometime around there where it really seemed to be like mad crazy. I wasn't taking hardly any damage, and I was hardly using ablative carapace anymore either, because I mean that helps out a lot, and you can put it on auto, but you know, I mean, but there's that other parasitic aura or something like that that you get. I think it comes in a little later, and that almost makes you OP sometimes, it seemed to me. So yeah, now we get a little split. There's 4 groups left, or no, 4 groups of monsters, 3 Talon elders, 5 groups of Talons. So, and that's the other thing, these are not in order because these are the Talon groups. The elders are after the monsters are past, right at the first of the bridge here, the foot of this part of the bridge is where the monsters come in. So there's one group there, one group there, one group there, one group there, and one group on the other side, more than likely, of this rock. So yeah, here we just you know, just pick a side. What's the rule? Go left. Okay. Yeah, I forgot. I didn't forget. Whew, man, that is a... See, so the judgment will usually wipe out most minions unless they're like yellow minion, and even then it's going to take them down quite a bit. I had a runner. Oh, she's coming back. Good, I got my sky splitter in there. Alright. Yeah, see, there was another one hid behind the back. Oh, I can just go in. I didn't get it off in time. The bonus went away. Oh well. No great loss. I'll hit it again here in a sec. Oh, shoot. I didn't do the right one anyway. The Sky Splitter is a single target. The Eye of the Storm is a radial. PBAOE, yeah. That hits a lot of folks as long as they're pretty close. I love the staff fighting animation and whatnot. Wham! I really like, I could say, I think I mentioned it in my other one, some of my other videos, I made my favorite character from the Wheel of Time, Matchroom Cathon. But somebody already had the name, which I kind of figured they would, so I named him the Prince of the Ravens, which is his title from the Sean Chan. Is that everybody? Oh yeah, I just got the lightning thing. Back around. Yeah. Oh, shoot. There we go. But yeah, lightning also has this wonderful power surge ability. And it's pretty nice. The only thing is, I don't usually take this type of power. Unstoppable for one of the other tank sets, because after it goes off, you're drained of almost all health and end. And the recharge times are pretty long on them, and then it lasts for what is it, a minute? What does it say? No, 3 minutes. So it lasts for 3 minutes. After the 3 minutes, some of the stuff is a little shorter, but the majority of it is 3 minutes, as you can see here. 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. After that 3 minutes, this bar is going to go, I mean, it's going to go down. And you better be watching for it so you can either run away or pop some greens or do something, because if not, you're probably going to go down. So yeah, it is what it is, and I mean, if you always group, it's not bad. And you group with some type of healer or buffer or something so that they can, heal you, keep you going, while you either back off or take a knee or something, pop some greens, and that's hunky-dory fine. But oh my God, why are you running away? Oh, Pink Floyd song. Why are you got stuck in the rock? That was her ending. But yeah. I don't use it much. Only if I get stuck in a big battle and I really need it, and I think I have less than 3 minutes, or I can get the guys down in less than 3 minutes, so I can, like I might use it here at the end on Romulus if it gets close and he's well below half. I could use it then, but I don't use it very often. And here I'm going to try to just pull a couple just to make this a little not so hairy, but they might not be too bad. See, they tried that. And I didn't pull them all. Left 3 of them. Probably what, out of 7? I can nuke. These guys are rough. Are they all lieutenants? I thought some of them would be minion. But no, it looks like at least all of these are lieutenants. Yeah, I got all the lieutenants. Left all the minion. Well, I got one. No, well, they're all lieutenants, but some of them are blue lieutenants and some of them are white, I guess. But that would, kind of figure that these guys wouldn't have as good a perception as the higher level ones in a way. Hey, there, now they're on to me. Oh my. Whatever shall I do? Beat him up. Oh man. Well, tell you. Started rereading an old series that I really like. The Ryan verse from Tom Clancy. A lot of people call it the Ryan verse. But the first book in it doesn't have hardly, I don't think Jack Ryan is in it at all. But it introduces a side character that becomes a main character in his own book kind of series, a little bit of John Kelly / John Clark, the CIA operative for Admiral Greer, that helps out Ryan in a couple of his books, and then gets his own book with Rainbow Six, I think. But yeah, he's in with Jack Ryan in Clear and Present Danger. I can't remember if he's in Patriot Games. But yeah, I'm reading Without Remorse, which is the origin story of, like, say, John Kelly / John Clark. Great. If you like kind of modern drama, military, espionage, spy-ish kind of stuff, war, because it's set in the end of the Vietnam War. He's a retired Navy SEAL. Did a lot of brown water work, which is fresh water. Blue water is salt water. So yeah, in Vietnam, of course, not anything really on the coast. He was inland and did some crazy stuff. And then he retires out, and tells of his unfortunate things in his life that happens that makes him go a little rogue, but then he gets a job with the CIA via trying to rescue some American POWs in Vietnam, and yeah, kind of crazy. They made a movie about it that was going to go in theaters, but because of COVID it didn't. It went on the streaming services and stuff, and I guess it got some pretty good, reviews and whatnot, but I think if you were a fan of the books, you weren't very happy with it because they modernized it. They didn't put it, I don't think they put it in Vietnam. I think he was an Iraqi war veteran or Afghanistan war veteran or something, maybe, I don't know, I can't remember. I've looked it up, and when I read that, I was just like, no, man, you can't be true to the source material. I'm not gonna watch it. And then, yeah, like I say, it didn't go to theaters. I think it went to Prime. I still didn't watch it, even though back then I had Prime because I was waiting for Wheel of Time to come out, I believe. And then again, that series, take the source material with millions of fans and just throw it out the window. Throw it out the window. I mean, I've seen some pretty crappy adaptations in that time, but that's one of the worst. And then Amazon follows it up with The Rings of Power. So what do you expect? But, I mean, it's the whole reason I subbed to Prime, was to watch The Wheel of Time, and that's one of my favorite fantasy series. And yeah, as soon as the last episode was over, I canceled my sub. And I told them why. I mean, I almost quit watching after the first show and canceled, and I really should have, because it just made me more mad as the episodes went along, because they just kept, oh, this is how the book does it, but we're gonna do it this way, and not just a little bit this way. We're gonna 180 it nearly. I mean, or I thought they'd be able to tell. It's a big book. All of Jordan's books were pretty freaking long. But I thought they could do it a lot better than a movie could, because they'd have to be 3 movies per book. And, you know, I think there were 8 episodes, so they had 8 hours nearly to tell the story, and they screwed the pooch, man. I mean, they just again, millions of readers of that series, and yeah, they just totally messed up, man. I mean, they just totally messed up. So. Oh well, life goes on. I mean, right off the bat, my big gripe was Perrin was married. They portrayed the boys as seemed like they were older than they were in the book. I mean, it was a total coming of age for all 3 of the main characters. Well, 3 of the main characters, because there are a couple others what I consider main characters. And you know, had to add Egwene as being a potential dragon reborn, which was total bogusness. Tom didn't show up until after they left the 2 rivers. And again, Perrin was married from the get-go. Nope. And then they made Matt's dad a lecher and a child beater. That, like I say, I should have just stopped right there after the first episode and canceled. But I'm like, I'll give it a chance. They'll, this is just a reimagining for them, and it won't get worse. It got worse. Oh, here's the next group. So we're done with the monsters. So now, again, about the same amount, but then there's this Talon leader, and while she's still just a lieutenant, she's pretty buff. We'll see how it goes by just going in and nuking. And she didn't come over and see me. And yeah, see, they're doing some potent damage, so I gotta take her out. Where is she? Oh my god, I can't get her targeted. There she is. God, that was horrible. Almost died again. Oh, I got a Healy on him. I don't know why I forgot that. A couple tanks that don't really have a good heal, and this might be one of them. I mean, the heal might be okay, but it also might take 3 minutes to frickin' come back. They either take so long to come back, they heal you for a lot, but they take 2 to 3 minutes to come back, or they don't heal you for a lot, but they come back in 30 seconds. Like that, I think. No, fire doesn't. Dark regen comes back really quick, but doesn't heal you for a ton, unless there's a lot of guys around you. If there's a lot of guys around you, it heals you for quite a bit. See, yep, another leader somewhere. The glowy one. Oh, well, there's some. There they are. I'm gonna wait for this to come back. Oh, it's 2 minutes, but nah, I did okay with that one. I'll just go in here and nuke them with my. And I'll just get on somebody else to. had a storm. There we go. Not that there's that many around me. Now let's see how good this heel is. Not bad. Ooh. So this one's one that's not so bad. Just a smidge over a minute. And oh, I got a siren over here. She's almost full health. She won't last super long. Beating on her. Boink. Now Sybil, which is just a glorified siren in a way. Just not as sonic, I guess. Alright. Now we'll just wait for that to come back because I knew that was going to go away. And then right back behind there, up the ramp, there's a door. And then you go up top and, oh, not this one, but there's another sky bridge thing, I think. And yeah, that's where Romulus, the Karis, and a couple monsters, 3 I think, might be 4, are at. Hey, there we go. Cool. Ooh, got a badge, got a badge. What'd I get? Oh, the vet level. The first vet level over leveled for level 3, vet level 3. Boink. Oh, and then I missed her. Wow. That's pretty bad. I must have rolled the botch because my axe should be pretty high. Goodbye. Oh. Okay. Yeah, see, I think you can go in this door, but it doesn't. This one's the better one, if I remember right. Because the other one takes you up somewhere else. Around, I don't know. But yeah, there they are. Karis, Romulus, Augustus, and yeah, 4 doodads. I will probably go in and drop. Yeah. And he's a Nictus, so War Shade should have hit everybody. He's down. Did the Karis go down? Oh no, Karis isn't down. Let's target her. Oh, come on. Let's get. And she's down. Oh no, they're down. All but one. This isn't so bad. And yeah. Ta-da! Knows no fear. Incarnate component. Yep. Ah, just a bloody common. Alright, well, let's look and see. Oh, we don't want that. I'm sure. So let's look at Judgment Ion. Biomorphic goo and meditation technique. So, biomorphic goo, and looky there, we have enough thread. Meditation technique. Click. And now we can create. And now we can equip. And there we go. And then once we get our next vet level, we'll have a bunch of these. You get 120. At every first and second vet level, you get thread up to level 98. Every third level, up to 99, you get those, you get 20 or 30, 20 of the Ethereum merits, which is nice. Nicer if it was 30, because it takes 30 for a very rare. 20 is not bad, because the rares are only 8. And that's to get your third tier. All the third tiers take some type of rare. The fourth tier takes the big bad boy. The Thalmic Resonator for that one, which will be that. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Well, that's not too bad. And on the thread side, your common is 20 and your uncommon is 60. And again, you get 120 every first and second level of that level through level 98. So, just by doing DA stuff and doing content to get vet levels, or running some farms in Architect, in the Architect Entertainment section, yeah, you can get vet levels and you'll get this stuff. It seems like I just can't get time to do an eye trial when they're doing eye trials. I want to do some eye trials, but I just for badges and such, but I just don't. I'm never available when they're doing them. It seems like I'm doing something else, or I just can't devote the time because I know something's going on or something will go on, and then I'll have to stop, and I can't. I want to do that to a group. I mean, that's just wrong. So I just get my incarnate stuff via Dark Astoria and then vet leveling, because once you run through it, and now that this one's done, it'll go to the last contact, which is the Dream Doctor. Now you can call her on the very last mission. There's the Dream Doctor, and then she has her personal story. But it's not hers, it's actually Marcus Valerius. And looky there, it's right here. So we're going to go run it right quick just to get it out of the way. Because it's non-combat, it's just run through the cavern, talk to the Ormbega spirits, and then get seduced by Mott. Or corrupted by Mott, however you want to look at it. So yeah, through all these personal ones, through the Dark Astoria storylines, Darkest story, a story. Ha ha ha. Okay. Once you get to the personal story solo mission, all your stuff is grayed out. It's non-combat. It's just a lore dump for the story of Dark Astoria again, and some backstory on your characters that you've walked alongside in the game here. This one, instead of Sister Solaris, it's Marcus, because he plays a big part. Big, if you don't know the story. That's pun intended. He plays a big part in the Dark Astoria arc. If you pay attention and read the stuff as you go along, you might have figured it out. You know, before this happened. And some people still won't have figured it out because they're just not good at figuring some of that stuff out, which is cool because then you're surprised when it happens and then you're like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. I've read too many books, watched too many movies, and I'm too good at putting puzzles together, so yeah. You know, it is what it is. Sometimes that sucks because then you're not surprised. There's a few times when I read stuff, I'm surprised or watch things, but not a whole lot. Again, man, it's just, you know, it is what it is. I've read hundreds of fantasy, sci-fi, drama, horror books, you know. Used to read a lot of Stephen King when I was younger. After, like, I can't remember if it was just before a Buick 88 or something, I read the synopsis on that, and then I was just like, eh. And a couple of the other ones after that, I kind of thought I might like, but then I just never picked them up because, yeah, I don't know. I liked his earlier stuff, and I still reread. I read Insomnia. It's one of my favorites. Reread it a year or so ago. I never finished The Dark Tower. I need to get the last couple books of that and sit down and start a reread and finish it. Yeah, there we go. Got the Cimarroran Hero Badge. And yeah, that's a done deal. Now all your all your toggles are off. So you gotta click them back on. Let me click that one so I don't forget. Sometimes I get to the end of this little row here and then I'm like, oh, I'm done. I forget to click one of my form ofs. And I'll form the head. Okay, no more Voltron. So, yeah, that's that. To get back, we gotta go to the Midnighter Club thing here. Or you can just long range teleport to your base or to any other zone you want. It will let you do that. But we'll go back the standard way. Because then this should be Capitiel. Yep. I mean, we should have just long range teleported to our base because that's where we're going anyway to get back to DA. Because DA is not somewhere you just go to unless you're in Talos. I think it's Talos. is the door to DA. So yeah, but yeah, I really like some of the Clancy stuff, the Jack Ryan stuff, and John Clark, John Kelly stuff. I read almost all of those. He said King, Robert Jordan, David Eddings, Frank Herbert, Piers Anthony, like Little Heinlein, Robert Heinlein, and Isaac Asimov. Julian May, looking up on my shelf here. She was a really great science fiction slash fantasy-ish. Well, some of her stuff was pretty pure, and some of it was a little crossover-ish, a little bit. It just depends on how you look at it. Some people could call it pure, all of it pure science fiction, but the saga of the Pliocene ones, I think in some ways is both, because it's going from a modern or postmodern Earth where we have met aliens and stuff, and we're part of a larger universe finally, and some people just can't live with that. They're anachronisms, and they find a way to go back in time to a particular place so as not to affect the timeline way back before there were modern humans, and live back there kind of archaically, but then they find there's a slight glitch in the Matrix per se, and I won't ruin it because it's a really great book. And if anybody wants to read it, man, it's it's actually a quadrology or something. I don't know. It's not a trilogy because there's 4 books, so whatever 4 books is in a series. But it's kind of like they put them out in a 2-book set and a 2-book set hardback, and then there's soft paperbacks for the individual books. The Golden Torque and the Many-Colored Land, and the Adversary and the Non-Born King. Like Thomas Harris, the Silence of the Lambs, Red Dragon, the first one, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Rising, yeah, R.A. Salvatore, all the Dritz stuff, and then the Cleric Quintet, Tolkien, of course, Terry Brooks, Robin Hobbs, not fiction, but Wade Davis and some of his ethnobiology books are pretty cool because there's stories of the Amazon and some of his other escapades in certain places are kind of interesting. One got made into a movie with a lot of poetic license being done, but yeah. Christmas. I know there's a bunch more. I'm just not thinking. Jack L. Chalker, Fred Saberhagen, Stephen R. Donaldson, Patricia McKellips, John Norman, when I was in high school, I discovered the Remo Williams books, which I can't think of the name of those now, the series. Those were pretty easy, fun, quick reads, and just, an interesting concept, and it was kind of cool. And then they made the movie that didn't really do the books justice, but, it was kind of fun and campy, actually, not too bad. Michael Moorcock, awesome series, the Immortal, whatever, I can't think of it now, Elric of Melbourne, Hawkmoon, Quorum. Yeah, those were great. Philip Jose Farmer. Man, gee, many Christmas. I read most of the WoW books because those were really cool. Actually, because I got into the lore of that. Some people say there's no lore in WoW. The story's not that good and blah blah blah, and it's really not that bad. And if you read the books, it fleshes it out even more, and it just goes more in depth. It's hard. Most people don't read half the crap that's on the screen now anyway, and back then it was almost the same. There were some, 20-25% kind of read everything and soaked in the storyline, and the rest just looked at what was needed to finish a quest or a mission, and boom, they're done. The 2 books for City of Heroes were really cool. They're pretty fun read, not super long. Harry Potter, of course. The Percy Jackson series, the Nicholas Flamel Immortal series, the Immortal Nicholas Flamel series, whatever you want to call it. Paolini with Aragon and whatever the other ones were now. I can't think of them. I haven't reread them in a while. I reread David Edding, Frank Herbert, Clancy, some King, and Tolkien, The Hobbit, the Silmarillion, and the Lord of the Rings. I reread those every so often. And Jordan, if I didn't mention Jordan. And then I'll throw in a couple on, like I'm looking at Paul Anderson's The Boat of a Million Years. Great sci-fi. I like that one. Very interesting. About some segment of the human population that is immortal. And how they go through the centuries and then eventually go out to the stars. So yeah. I know I'm leaving some out. Stephen R. Donaldson's really great when I mentioned him. Chronicles of Thomas Covenant, the Non-Believer, or Unbeliever, Non-Believer, however it's worded. Really awesome books. And then his Mordrat books. Chalker's an interesting read. He's a blend kind of science fiction and fantasy in some of his books. A little weird. The Rings of the Masters, the Changewind series, and the Soul Rider series. Oh my god, those are just... I read those when I was in high school, and or junior high and high school, and man, those were just craziness. Anne Rice, that's one I was trying to think of, and I just couldn't think of it. I reread the Vampire Chronicles every so often, and the Mummy. That was another sad day when they decided, I think, who was that? Crud. Whatever network decided they were gonna, let's do the Vampire Chronicles. Well, the movie wasn't terrible, and I knew that they were gonna have to change quite a bit of at least one aspect of the story, and then they just changed way too much. They pushed it to a later time, and then just hosed it over. I've never watched any of it because I'd already watched The Wheel of Time suffer, and I was just done by that point. And then again, Without Remorse, how they changed that one, I was just done with Hollywood and network TV that they, didn't have their own ideas, used other people's ideas, but then turned around and raked them over the coals to make them their own ideas because they couldn't come up with a good premise for their ideas, so they were going to work them into an existing IP and piss off most of the fans of that IP because if you look up Without Remorse on Wikipedia, the book, you will see that it was a huge seller because it wasn't the first Jack Ryan book, and it wasn't the first one where Kelly was mentioned, Kelly / Clark, but it was Clark's beginning, his beginning of the story. His story was getting told. So this was well into Clancy's career. He had fleshed it out according to him. He had started it but kind of stopped because he wanted to let it germinate and grow, and he knew it wasn't ready yet because he hadn't written a whole lot yet. And then he worked him in some of the Jack Ryan stuff, and then he finally decided, hey, it's time to finish the Clark storyline, or finish the start of Clark's storyline, because then he wrote Rainbow Six. That was all Clark and his team. So yeah, and then the movie just changed, not the general premise of the book in a way, but they changed enough of it so that to me it's unrecognizable. The only thing that's recognizable is the title, and the basic plot line that here's a guy who got hosed over somewhat by bad luck. Not somewhat. He got hosed over by bad luck. And in the first instance, and then in the second instance, being a little too overconfident, and then kicks himself for being overconfident, and then comes back with a vengeance, literally, and in the end, all is right with the world in a way. So yeah, it's kind of, that's the basic premise, and I'm sure that's kind of the basic premise of their version, the movie version of Without Remorse, but they changed the whole background of him, and I just had no desire to see it, and I know a lot of other people didn't, and it got pushed direct to streaming, and they say a lot of people watched it on streaming, but did they watch it all the way through? And would all of those people have paid, $8 to $15 for a movie ticket to see it? Probably not. They'd already subbed to the streaming service, so they tried to watch it. And, I'd like to, again, see the stats on how many people that started watching it watched it all the way through, and then what their review of it actually was. But the Anne Rice one was another major contention. That might have been on WB. I can't remember now, but I know it was a network that did it. And my main thing with that was because of Claudia. And they didn't really mention it a whole lot in the movie, but it implied that she was very young when she was made a vampire. but in the movie it was like she was 10 or 12. In the book she was younger than that, and the problem was, that just seems a little weird and creepy. Um, but once she becomes a vampire, and 30 years later, when she hasn't aged or grown up physically, she has mentally, because it's been 30 years. So, but she looks like she's 6 years old, 6 or 7, something like that. I can't remember. Haven't reread that one in a bit, but yeah, I know she's like 6 or 7. It's pretty young. When Lewis kind of made her, well, Lestat made her. Lewis was in a feeding frenzy because he was racked with hunger because he'd only been eating rats and stuff. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, I knew that and I was willing, to let them push that again in the series up a different age so that it wasn't so creepy and weird. But then they bumped it forward by like, I don't know, 60 or 80 years. So that put it in a different time frame, and that was the time frame where the breakup between Louis Lestat and Claudia kind of happened, and then yeah, the whole dust up with that, and then they ran off to the old world because they thought they'd killed Lestat, and they didn't, because Lestat's, they didn't know his heritage and how strong his blood is, and blah 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 blah. But uh, I just had a feeling that series was not going to go in the right direction either, and it didn't. And it's just they can't learn that you have a ready-made fan base, and not a small fan base. I mean, how many millions of books has Anne Rice sold for the Vampire Chronicles? Robert Jordan for the Wheel of Time. J.R.R. Tolkien for Hobbit and all the other Middle Earth stuff. Tom Clancy and the Jack Ryan / John Clark universe. His world stuff. I would love to see a real and true adaptation of my original first foray into science fiction or fantasy. The fantasy books of David Eddings. But I wouldn't want anybody to really do it because I know they'd screw it up. Um, it's like, it's just, they would totally hose it over, and it wouldn't be good. And I can reread them when I want to, and in my mind's eye picture everything, because it might not be as descriptive as Jordan, because Jordan is very descriptive, and that's why his books are super long, and he had to have basically 5 main characters, with about another 5 periphery characters that still get a lot of story time. It's just nuts. I mean, he wanted this. I think he wanted this super epic stuff. Either he wanted or just hoped, and he kind of did in some ways, top Tolkien for page count, word count. and whatnot. Uh, but to me, they're on two different areas. You know, while Lord of the Rings is a epic fantasy, um, it it almost, I mean, Frodo's kind of the main character, but really the main character is the ring in a way. And Frodo and Sam and Gandalf and, you know, Gimli, Legolas, Merry, Pippin, Samwise, you know, Elrond. They're all almost periphery. The ring is the is the main character in a way. You know, well, Gollum and Sauron and a couple of the orcs that get named a little bit here and there throughout. That, you know, they could be real side characters, but man, it's just like the ring is in some ways the main character, but Jordan wanted this interwoven tapestry of multiple characters and how they, you know, start as friends, continue as friends for the most part. Uh, they have some rough spots here and there, but they all still remain really close friends right until the end. And how they all interdevelop, interweave, go their own ways, come back together sometimes, not all together, until they all come kind of together in the end, of course, for the final confrontation and all that good stuff. But it just, he just went so in depth, and that was just his style, and that was just what he wanted to do. Whereas, you know, Tolkien told a really great story with all these other characters in it. Like, you know, most people again would consider Frodo the main character, but to me it's the ring, and Frodo and Samwise and Merry and Pippin and Gandalf and, you know, again Legolas and Gimli. They're all main characters in a way, but we get their story, but we don't get a huge in-depth and super character development because it's not a coming of age, you know, for them. It's a go out the door adventure for them. They're all grown men or hobbits, you know, even though to some of the hobbits wouldn't be quite of age, fully of age, but they're of age enough that they can leave home. You know, it's not like Loyal, who shouldn't have left the stump, the steading, because he was just barely a teenager in a way, or you know, technically a teenager, but like 16, 17. So he wasn't legally sort of, who knows, you know, it's hard to tell because we don't know the Ogier, their full, you know, culture. So yeah, but again, it was a coming of age for him too, just like, you know, Matt, Perrin, and Rand, and Egwene, and even Nynaeve. Nynaeve was a little older than the three boys and the one girl, but, you know, she wasn't that much older. She could definitely have left and not really needed parental permission. The other ones really needed, you know, they at least had to tell their parents, hey, you gotta go. But yeah, you know, it's their total coming of age and how the world's changing, and they're wrapped up in it. and they don't know it exactly yet, but they are, because the three boys are Taveran. Uh, you know, I don't know. It's really weird how they had to spin some of that, and how they just, again, millions of avid fans. Uh, let's take the lore and flip it, just about. You know, add stuff that wasn't there, take stuff away that was there, change things here left and right, and push stuff this way that was that way, and yeah. All right. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I thought I was gonna sneeze then, but I'm gonna turn my mic off for a moment and grab some tea and hopefully sneeze so I don't blow you guys out. Alright, fresh tea. Let's climb off our soapbox and go find tub chi. Oh, goodness. It's like, I love Dune, the 5 Frank Herbert books, and even some of his son's books aren't terribly bad. They're just a little, you know. A lot of people think that was a cash grab in a way, but it might have been. Who knows? He might have been trying to, you know, continue what he thought was his father's legacy, too. It's hard telling. But I reread the regular 5 Frank Herbert books every 3 or 4 years. and I reread them, of course, just before the new movie came out, the new adaptation. Um, and I went into the theater with an open mind and walked out with guarded interest for number two. Seeing how they changed again some of the stuff in one, visually, it was awesome. And to me, if you hadn't read the books, it was probably even more awesome. But I had read the books a lot, and I had just reread it, so it was fresh in my mind because I knew that they were going to change a bunch of stuff. I just had a feeling. And they did. They did. Um, Little things here and there. They kind of got some of the story a little better than the original movie and the sci-fi series, but they changed some stuff, and to me it changed the feel of the story. And I was really worried for number two, for the second part, because this is just the first book. The first book's not that big. It does have a lot to tell, and to do it visually like in a movie, yes, it should be done in two parts. It really should, because the story is that deep and there is that much nuance in a way. I call Dune 2 the movie I love to hate, because it visually and auditorily, the music and the soundscape and the visuals and, you know, the choreography and even the most of the costuming and stuff was amazing. But that changes that they started in the first one continued and burgeoned into the second one and culminated with an ending that was pure crap, in my opinion. And I'll not watch the third one or the fourth one. I didn't watch the series because I knew they were going to screw that over too, and that was more of a his son's stuff. Oh shoot, I didn't change. I need to change this back. Oh crap, I forgot. I'm glad I saw that. I need to change this back. Nah, we won't do it. We'll just keep going. It's no big deal. I'll have to AE farm some stuff anyway. I'll just leave it. But we'll just blaze through this because I can go stand in the middle of these guys. These two guys that are with me will just kill them. I mean, I'll hit this and they'll just die anyway. Oh, didn't even click it. Click. Or not. Click. Come on, there we go. But yeah, Chaney, in my opinion, definitely got the short end of the stick in this movie. You have you know, they're all saying they want these strong female characters, and she was a super strong female character. So was Paul's mother. And that was one thing in the first one. She cried. She was worried for her son, yes. But, and I mean, they did that in the Lynch one too, when Leto died. And Jessica felt it and stuff. But, you know, there were other points where she broke down. And a trained Bene Gesserit who was ready for the agony where she was, because she passed through, wouldn't have broken down like that. I mean, that's, you know, So here's your super strong female character, and you make them weak. Oh, it's humanizing them. Yeah, whatever, whoever, whatever you guys want to say. You changed the book. You changed how it was in the book. And then you gave Cheney the short end of the stick at the end of the movie. You made Jameis a spirit guide for Paul. That was not in the book. Yeah, the fight with Jameis was a big part of Paul's coming of age and realizing some things, and shaped him as a human. But you know, it was just maddening with that. I mean, that was just stupid how they handled that. Come on, what is wrong with you? Why can I not? Oh, because I have to have somebody targeted. That's right. This isn't just an AoE thing. I forget. That one's a weird one. But yeah, I mean, Cheney and Paul were married as Fremen, and yeah, he had to marry the princess to be the legitimate emperor. But they were married in name only. She never bore him any progeny. Cheney did. They, in the book, they clearly loved each other, stayed together. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. That was just... the worst reimagining I could ever have thought of, and they did it. You know, if I would have thought of that, I would have been like, I ain't going to see this movie. If I would have known that, I would have been, I ain't going to see this movie. I ain't wasting my money. And I didn't buy the Blu-ray. I bought the first one because I really liked it. And visually, it was pretty cool. And, you know, there were some problems with it, and I was hoping they wouldn't continue, but they did, and that's why I didn't buy the second movie Blu-ray when it came out. I mean, it just... I don't care how much of a collector I am, and what I did with James Bond, but I wasn't going to do that with Dune. I will get into the James Bond thing in just a second. But, yeah, man. I mean, and I realized that, the series was based more on Herbert's sons, prequel-ish books, the prehistory of the Empire and the Spice and all that, even the start of the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood, and, you know, again, all that good jazz. But I didn't even want to watch it because I kind of knew that, you know, I just had no desire to, because I wasn't gonna be roped in, and I saw some reviews on it and read some stuff about it, and I was like, nope, not gonna happen. I mean, I had issues with the first Dune, and I had issues with the sci-fi miniseries of Dune and Children of Dune. They did a little embellishments here and there. Some of the costuming was a little over the top in both of them in some aspects, and then Lynch's weirding modules because he wanted to interject some type of sci-fi tech into it and not the mysticism of the Bene Gesserit's, weirding ways, as they called it. Just their training. It wasn't all really that mystical. It was more of physical training your body to such a heightened level that you could literally move every muscle in your body individually. You had that much control over your body, and then like if you were a Reverend Mother, you had this weird, other memories of your past ancestors on the female side. So yeah, that was kind of weird and mystical in a way, but even that, some people think we do have cellular memory, and that's basically what that is. So I don't know. But yeah, that just, again, how it ended with Cheney, and it's like her and Paul are kind of not in very good standing with each other. That's bogus. I mean, it's just not that way in the book. But now to the, because I mentioned James Bond, huge James Bond fan. First movie I watched, third or fourth grade, maybe fifth grade, at the most. A sanitized TV version of Live and Let Die, so it was edited for TV. So some of the real adult stuff was kind of toned down, maybe edited over, and then also just length. They cut out some stuff, to make it fit in a 2-hour network movie time slot, which however long. That is with commercials. Back in the 70s, that was quite a bit longer than it is now because, of course, I don't watch TV nowadays, partially because of that fact. Commercials are stupid, and they show a lot more than they should and need to, and it's dumb. But anyway, back to James Bond. So that was my first James Bond movie, Live and Let Die with Roger Moore, and then I watched some of the other ones later in the theaters as growing up, and then I found out about the Sean Connery ones and watched them when I could. And after I got out of high school, I got lucky and scored the box set for Christmas one year. And I mean, it seemed like they'd show them all the time around between Thanksgiving and Christmas time on one of the networks, and that just means I could watch them at my leisure, which is what I did once I got the box set. And and then I got lost in a move somewhere, and not too long ago I got the Blu-rays for Christmas up through the Daniel Craig, except for the last one, because the last one wasn't out yet. But I got those right here up above me. And yeah, there's Spectre, there's Skyfall, Quantum of Solace, Casino Royale, Die Another Day, The World Is Not Enough, I Started at the Back, Tomorrow Never Dies, GoldenEye, License to Kill, The Living Daylights, A View to a Kill. Need I go on? I got them all. Came as a full, nice Blu-ray box set with some extra added stuff. Not a whole lot, but a little. And yeah. And then come to find out the last movie for Daniel Craig would come out. And then it got delayed, I think, because of COVID, of course, and all kinds of stuff. And then I found out what the storyline premise would be and was disappointed. At that point, I was kind of I wasn't looking forward to the movie because I knew they were going to really hose it over. And then, yeah, my fears became reality. I was hoping that Barbara Broccoli would still have enough pull that it wouldn't happen. And I think they kind of maybe pulled the wool over her eyes and kind of, I don't know if she was fully cognizant of everything that they were doing and what was going on with that last Daniel Craig movie. You alright, Junior? You having a bad dream? Wake up. Yeah, quit your whining, you silly boy. Sounding like you're not feeling good, but he was just... Sometimes he makes weird noises. But yeah, you know, I started seeing how that storyline was going, and I'm like, they're really going to do it. They're really going to do it. I had the feeling that they were really going to do it. And they did. The movie ended how I thought it was going to. But at that time, and I still am kind of a completionist. I like to complete my collection of stuff. So I bought, can't even think of the freaking name of it now. It's right up there, because it's sitting on the shelf above my other shelf. No Time to Die. Yeah, I try to forget the name of it because it's exactly what happened. It's still shrink wrapped in its case, sitting on my upper shelf. Not with all my movies that I watch that are opened and in different little sleeve holder things that make it so that I can fit 96 Blu-rays in about 8 inches of space, because they're not in their hard cases. They're in these weird little pocket sleeve things that keep them very nice and clean and secure, and yeah, easy to find because they're the way I've got them cataloged. But you know, I saw the reviews and I watched the spoiler reviews because I didn't care. And yeah, when it came out on Blu-ray, I went out and bought it, and I put it on my shelf and never opened it. I don't want to watch it. I've almost watched it a couple times on cable, just to see how bad it is, but I don't even want to do that. I mean, I almost broke down the other day. I'm like, I don't have much else to do. Maybe I'll finally watch the last James Bond movie. And then I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. And again, the only reason I bought it is because it was the last Daniel Craig one. So that was the end of the Daniel Craig era. So I'd have it and complete my collection. And the way it's looking, that'll probably be the last James Bond movie I ever buy. Next to the unofficial one that I want to buy that I haven't bought. I used to have it on VHS, but I haven't bought it on DVD or Blu-ray, and that's Never Say Never Again. The non-canon, non-Aeon one that Sean Connery did after he said he'd never do another James Bond movie. And it's, again, it's not with the Broccoli Bonds and the Aeon Bond movies, so it's not considered canon, but it's James Bond, and I've watched it, and it's pretty okay. A little over the top in some ways, and some campy in others. But it's a good watch. I like Sean Connery, so let's take out these guys. Come on, get somebody targeted so I can do my nuke. There we go. Should have had somebody targeted before I ran up there. I thought I did, but I was just mousing over him and I didn't click him. Oh well, no biggie. But yeah, that's my James Bond gripe and story, and just like, oh god. Same thing with Indiana Jones, except I didn't buy the last Indiana Jones movie. I bought the Crystal Skull because I thought that one was going to be the last one. And I think I even saw that one in theaters. And some stuff wasn't bad, other stuff was totally terrible. And I'm like, well, this is the last Indiana Jones movie, so I'll buy it and complete the collection. And unfortunately, I was wrong. And they tried to go to the well one more time. They just do not learn. I swear, they just do not learn. And, I had no desire to see broken down Indiana Jones get, harassed and harangued by a girl boss. So yeah. Yo. Again, there's they want these strong female characters, and then they have strong female characters written in books like The Wheel of Time, like Dune, like some of the comic book stuff, and then they make them more over the top, and then sometimes make them not so strong, in my opinion, by some of their actions, when in the books and the comic books and stuff, they were stronger than that, and they just they fail. I mean, it's sad, because again, Cheney and Paul's mother, Lady Jessica, I mean, how much stronger of a female character could you want? She is amazing. I mean, it's like she's the epitome of girl boss in a way, and then they oh, well, we wanted to show that she was vulnerable, and well, that was the whole training of the Bene Gesserit, so that the girls wouldn't be vulnerable, that they would be powerful and kind of helping shape the world in secret, because they didn't want people to know their true power, that they understood politics, to the extent that we know how to affect change. And I think that was partially because Herbert thought that women were, given the short end of the stick. So here they are, and they have to do it kind of in secret. But it's also because they don't want people to know how their whole whatchamacallit works either, their breeding program, to try to garner the Quetzalcoatl cataract. So I don't know, it just seems dumb and short-sighted, and they're, I don't know, it's just crazy. A lot of people say they're trying to cater to a very small percentage of the population, and sometimes it sure seems that way. Yet, that small percentage of the population doesn't put that many butts in seats. So, well, wouldn't you want to cater to your majority of your population, which are middle of the road adult males and females? I mean, yeah. They have the business. Sometimes I think they have the business sense of a worm, and not a sandworm, just a worm, an earthworm. Can't see the forest for their trees, and then one of their favorite phrases is "read the room." Read the room. Yeah. It's called practice what you preach. I mean, you know, old axiom of the squeaky wheel gets the grease is true, and but sometimes that squeaky wheel ain't broke. It's just loud. And all it needs is a little oil. It doesn't need a change. The wheel's fine. It's just needs a little grease. Like it says, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, but sometimes the grease is over abundance and not exactly needed. And the other old axiom of that's still getting pushed around a little bit nowadays is bad press is still press. That's not holding as true as it did. It's starting to be bad press is bad press, and you know, as long as it's not terribly bad press, maybe it's still press. But if it's really bad press and puts you in a really bad light, it's bad press. And you don't want that. You really don't. Drink a tea before we take out tub chi. Yeah. So you got to take out the four spirits, the ancestor spirits, around him before he will become vulnerable and able to be damaged. So yes, target them, beat them up, and then you can hit tub. And there he goes. Now, eat hot death. And we'll go purple for a little bit. And there we go. Not too bad. All right. Oh, God. And that is Nectar of the Gods. Arizona green tea. Alrighty. And the Talons of Vengeance in Dark Astoria. Oh man. I'm gonna have to do some auction housing here pretty soon. Oh shoot. Well. He's over 100 stored. It's almost 150. Oh. Dang it. I was going to do that and put the 3 in that I got. So let's do that right quick. Make some room. Oh, this is the one with Protean. Oh, yeah. Cavern. Moderately large. Not huge. Pretty straightforward. I had a piece of pepper in my teeth from lunch and whew, went down a little wrong there. These little side things hardly ever have anybody in it, like also this one. That's apparent by, if you watch some of my other videos, I'm sure I've done this or this layout before in other missions. So yeah, pretty straightforward. 3 cares to defeat and destroy the Talon's nest. Once you get the 3 done, he'll be back here, and then all of a sudden it'll all go dark. He'll be ported into the nest with the head mother, Karis. You have to take her out by yourself. Your fun compatriots here aren't going to help you at all. No big deal. I should have upped it again, but oh well. Oh, there's a Karis over there. She's the one with the dark stuff rolling off of her. I can just stand here and get aggro on the guys, and these other guys will just take them out. But I'm going to target her and go in and pop my judgment. Maybe, if I can click it. And didn't do much damage to her because she's a boss. This one might. Oh, that hurt her a little bit. They got ugly feet, and their screaming head isn't very pretty to look at either. Oh well. Oh, come on, guys, keep up, man. Oh wow, Prophetess has bio armor. That's pretty funny. The bladed carapace. They look like anyway. Yeah. Yeah, see there's nothing back there. Bird lady. Probably another one pretty soon here, I would think. Prophet is. I don't see one. I was hoping they'd go the long way around and get... Oh, Dream Doctor's over there now, taking them out. And Shirako, I think, went with him. Oh, he came back over to help me. Oh, how nice. Thanks, Shirako. Stretchy, stretchy. I think the last time I did this, the last Karis was right before, and the other one was right here. I wonder if we're going to be that way again today. Nobody down there. Nope. Let's go this way. Wow, there really wasn't anybody here. Guess not. Oh, jeez. Shirako lost. Is he gonna... Okay, he's making his way. Make him all wait. Okay. Too much Critical Role. Fell asleep the last episode of the Exandria Unlimited Divergence. Just after halfway, or just after the break. When we watched it today. God. Even though I don't agree with some of their political standpoints, they definitely can tell a pretty good story. There's a Karis. Okay. Nuke. Not a true nuke, but might as well be. Made all of them fall down, didn't it? Just as good as a blaster's nuke. That's one thing I didn't understand either, man. It's like, you guys give the glass cannon a huge damage dealing power, but 90% of them have to be right next to the person targeted, or to the group, because it's a point blank area of effect, PBAOE. And I'm like, I mean, granted, it does knockback, and that's stupid too, because tanks hate knockback. I mean, yeah, there's coming from a blaster, it's not a tank, but a tank has to deal with the after effects of it, so come on. There's a few blasters, and the one is a newer one that Homecoming created. I think the power set, unless it was in the works by NCSoft or Cryptic or whoever you want to call it. And then is the last one right here? Oh wow, it was in even further than the other one. Okay, not a big deal. I'm gonna save my nuke for the big mama. But yeah, it's the and you don't have to get away from Crodian. That's when you have to fight him. When he's your ally, it doesn't hurt you. So yeah, now we're gonna get teleported to the nest any second. And there it goes. And now we tab until we get the mama. There she is. And we'll go up and nuke her. Not that it did a whole lot of damage. Well, it did. It did. About a quarter almost. That's not bad. But, come on. Give me my combo. There it is. Now I totally forgot what I was talking about. Dang it. Oh, my lord. Jeez. Wow. Definitely my CRS is showing. Can't remember shit. Bad short term. Cause I'm getting old. Oh, gotta exit. Jeez. Oh, man. Oh, well, I'll pick up that train of thought again eventually. Wow. Wow. Alright. So, it says finale, and it kind of is, but it's not the finale. The Dream Doctor's story arc is broken up into two parts. Um, so we'll get this finale, and we'll get a nice hunk of something here. Hopefully, an uncommon or a rare, at least. If we get a super rare, that'd be amazing. Um, but yeah, this is technically not the finale. It's just the finale of the first half of the arc. Wow. Jeez. Talk about totally losing my train of thought there. Dun, 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 dun. The Red War Walls. Oh, shoot. Oh, well, there we go. Go this way. Yeah, boy. Alright. Approach the summoning site. Dun dun dun. What am I doing? Reveal, not Nemesis staff. Protean, Topchi, Ajax, Shrocko, Dream Doctor, and now the beautiful goddess Tekula, or however it's pronounced. I keep forgetting to look it up and see if she's actually something. They actually use the name of an actual goddess or something. I do that a lot with some of my characters in certain games, and then some of my pets, incarnate pets for here, are I use that. I gotta talk to Dream Doctor again. Let's begin. Sorry. Yeah, I saw somebody earlier today that used a water goddess from the Aztecs, and they were, of course, water and storm, I think, or something. Corruptor. I'll do that occasionally. Some of mine are different gods or goddess names, or associated with Greek, Roman, Celtic, Mesoamerican, Native American, Eastern Europeans, again, like say Celtic, Slavic, all kinds of stuff. Oriental, Indian, I've, Chinese, Japanese, Thailand. I think I've used a Thai or maybe Korean or Philippines. So, 6 groups of Pantheon to clear to get out, and they're just, they're not too close, not too far. Pretty basic, easy minish for the most part. Especially if you're set at -1, it's pretty cakewalkish because you got your 2 helpers here that really clear stuff out. I mean, it's like you just go in and aggro, and they'll just come in and Scirocco blows them away, and Dream Doctor comes and beats him up with his staff, because he's a staff wielder. We did get aggro from the other group, so I will taunt them. I mean, if one of these two guys goes down, or even both, I'll just have to go slower and try not to. I mean, I could have aggroed them, taunted them over to keep them away from these guys, but do my Healy. It looks like one of them is down. Who went down? Scirocco went down, and he's kind of a he's scrapperish, but you know. Oh, Dream Doctor's down too. No, he's getting back up. As long as he doesn't go over and aggro the other group and be stupid about it. Way to go, Dream Doctor. He didn't. It's amazing. Alright. Yeah, those two I was kind of worried about, but I was like, well, whatever. These are far enough apart, these last three. Really won't be an issue, I don't think. As long as Dream Doctor doesn't chase that other one. Oh god, she's coming back. Oh. There, that should, yay, take care of her. Alright, cool. Man. Alright. We don't have our nuke power for this one, but we'll just go ahead and do this, get a combo, do the sweep. Sweep the leg. Oh. Everybody was really hot on that Cobra Kai. I was like, I have no desire. I mean, it sounded good and okay, but I was just like, Karate Kid was cool. The movie was okay. I want to see Karate Kid grown up and him and the other guy maybe as friends or something, whatever. Who cares? That just didn't interest me. I mean, you know, it's a nice premise that, or I don't know if they were friends or what, but yeah. Even if they were rivals, I really had no rivals. I just had no desire to even watch it. And then The Boys, I heard about that, and it kind of sounded good, and then everybody was hot on it, and then the one season everybody was not hot on it. So yeah, I don't know. Again, ooh, I got an Ethereum merit. Nice. And a nanotech growth median. Hey, bonus. Let's see what we get here. Uncommon. That's not bad. Crap, my salvage is full. Eesh, good God. So, what do I need for paralytic? I want to go this side. 75 debuff proc and damage debuff proc. 25 debuff and 75 damage debuff. I think kind of doesn't matter, really. I mean, one, you're going to hit them more because you got a debuff proc on them. The other one, they're not going to do as much damage because you got to, yeah, so I'm a tank. I'll take the defense debuff proc so I can hit them easier. So, what do I need? Dimensional pocket. Dimensional pocket. Boink. I might be able. Depends upon what else do I need for that. Paralytic. Meditation and arcane. I can only get one. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah. I'll get the arcane. And I can either craft the med or get the med if I get a comment on the next one. But now I have to get rid of this stuff once I get out of here because my salvage is full. Alright. See what we got. We might have some oranges to put in the bin back at the base. Oh yeah. Now we turn it in and he'll give you part 1 of part 2, which is actually part 4 of his whole arc, because they don't totally split it, they just split it. I don't know, man. It's, you know, again, it's all whoever wrote the story arc and how they wanted to split it up, man. Super base. There we go. We'll go throw some salvage in the bins and maybe sell them to the dude back there at the entryway. The ones that we can't. Oh yeah, I got a couple I can put in here. Coronal skips and such. Most of these should be almost full, but we'll check them. Oh, I got a little room. Probably don't need any of it. I hardly use the brass. Ceramic plate occasionally. Ooh, clockwork. I'll go ahead and top that up. Demonic threat. Oh, there's plenty of those. Okay. We'll just leave that for circuit board and bore sight space, and then we can always pull some out if we get a lot. This one's full, so yeah. We don't have anything that we're low on, though. No human blood sample. Got plenty of fortune. Hydraulic piston, inert rod, inert gas. Yeah, that's fine. Kinetic weapon, masterwork, weapon. Yeah, I haven't used those in a while, so okay. Never melting. I use those. Might see about what I have in my personal vault and fix a few things. Plenty of regenerating flesh, rubies. Runebound armor's low. Got silver. Let's click a couple of those and put a couple of those in. Just we could do the same with Spirit Thorn and Ruby. And regen flesh, actually. Let's bring those to 13. There we go. Temporal. Yeah, okay. That's cool. Alright, now let's go check the yellow bins. Quenchable is good. We'll pop another. That's good. That's the next bin, because you just don't get the symbol and the steel from these guys. certain stuff drops from certain types of mobs, so sometimes you just don't get that stuff, and sometimes it's from lower level mobs as well, so you kind of gotta sometimes go back and farm some, or just buy it off the auction house if you got a ton of infamy and influence. Time, value, and money. Sometimes it's just easier. Where are we at? Sapphire's good. We're missing something here, but it's something that doesn't drop, so at the high level. Because, yeah, all I got is Sonic Threat Report and Sapphire, so yeah, might as well not even put them in there. I'll just put them on the auction house. Get a little cheddar for them. Gold is good. Energy weapon's good. Destiny's good. Yeah. Bonus. I'm sure Chaos Theorem. Yeah, way good. Bleeding Stone. Yeah, we'll pop that in there. Why not? Just for S&G. Not super group, but shits and giggles. Yeah. Alright. So now, get rid of these. Wow. I'm going to send that money over to Seer right after we get done here. We'll see her how. Never mind. That's bad. Okay. These I'm just going to vend. I don't put them on the auction house anymore. They take up space. They don't sell very well sometimes. They'll set forever, weeks. Because if I'm not getting $250 for them, I'm going to sell them here. And I'd have to sell them for more than $250 because of the auction house fees. So yeah, I just vend these whites now. I was gonna check my bank on a couple, but oh well, it's over now. No big deal. It's not like I ain't gonna get more. Cause yeah, I was gonna check like the rune bound, and yeah, no, I'll just sell it. 3, 4, 5, 6. Next time I'll check, and if I don't have a lot in my bank, I'll just bank them then, because I'm sure I'll get a lot more of these. I don't know how these are organized, so it's not alphabetical. It's so weird. It's really kind of silly, but oh well, no big deal. So can't use the auction house in your base, so I had to pop out. Have any? Oh yeah, we'll put those two on. And then what's our highest? 4, 5. You always start with your highest stack. That way it'll auto down. It won't auto go up. So if you start at 2 and then you have a 5, you got to drag it. So it's just, you know. Ooh, coercive persuasion. Alright. Go through and get rid of some of the big ones just to clear clear out a little bit right quick. Not that I had a ton. Might do a little more clearing. Ooh, because I got a lot of those. Yeah, we'll get... Wow. I've been banking those, hadn't I? Well, I've been doing the thing, the event thing, and just throwing stuff on here. On some, I was trying to keep their stuff clear. Wow, really? I don't have hardly any? That was it? Crazy. Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. I'm gonna have to clear some of those out too. That's way too much. They'll sell eventually. I'm not worried about it. Sometimes they'll sell for $750. Sometimes they'll sell for over $1,000. Sometimes I've seen them sell as high as $5. So I have my ceiling price that I put on there, and then they set, and then they sell eventually. I mean, there's a lot for sale, but some people will put them on for more than what I'm putting them on for, and this will at least let me get $750 for them, because that's what most regular lowball bidders put on is $750. I'm fine with that. It's nicer for $1,000, but at one time I put them on a little lower, but then it seems like a couple bidders either figured that out or something and started bidding 600, and I was like, nope. So then I upped my bid just a little, my minimum. Yeah, the only second tiers I sell. I mean, sometimes if I see these are going really high and there's not a lot for sale, I might pop some on the auction house. But usually not. Usually they're not. None of the other ones are going that high, and I just combine them to get the good luck, because it probably is pretty much even, but the good luck seems to sell at a higher price consistently, more and a higher price than the damage one consistently, to me anyway. I mean, I haven't done like a true market research for it, because I ain't that worried about it. If I was that into playing the market, there'd be a couple more places in this, and I'd be at cap. I'm not that much of a market player. I find it interesting, but I don't want to do it because it's a lot of work, actually. You also have to get some of the right stuff to sell, because our market is not very big, because we just don't have thousands and thousands of people playing. So got a couple that'll put me over 8, so I can send 8 million. And that's basically, I send that because this character doesn't need it, because he he needs some catalysts to catalyze these up to cap 50, and to make these scale. I don't really have to do that, but I do it on everything but these, because these don't scale. Uh, they stay this no matter what. So if the power's available, it's there. You know, if you amp down and you don't have this power, then yeah, you're just not getting it. So it doesn't matter. But these, if you amp down, it doesn't. If they were at, I don't think they'd scale at 50, but if they're attuned, they scale down to level 17. So yeah, whatever. It's kind of a weird thing. It's just, I don't know. It's on the wiki if you want to really delve into the attune thing. But yeah, all he needs is some attunes, and most of his are at 50. So I just really need a couple to bump these up, and then I worry about the 50s later. And like this one's at cap because it caps at 30. Anyway, this one I just probably bought it attuned because they're the same price, and then I just buy the attuned ones like these. I bought attuned ones, so he doesn't need the money, is what I'm saying. But someone who does is someone I'm about to switch to, so I can see if she garnered anything off the auction house, and she's got another 8 million sitting there. She'll be able to get something with that, should be. And that is Sears Andramus. Whoops, one more page back. My Arachnos Widow. It's so weird because it says Widow Training. It should. I thought she was a Night Widow, but I don't know. Yep, one bought. I think I was bidding on 2 though. High bid. Yeah, that one hasn't sold yet. What's it rolling? Yeah, it's at 10 mil. God, that's so stupid. Oh well. Oh, get that. Get my 8 million off the email. Delete that. Leave this one empty so I can just hit reply and I don't have to type in a bunch of crap that I don't really need, because all I do is mail stuff to myself. Oh yeah. So now I can, there's only 20 there, probably won't work. Let's do this one. 8 million. Let's try 7 million. Cancel. And it didn't immediately pop, so we still got those 2 bidding, no big deal. So we can slot this in. Act, damage, and recharge. Act, damage, and recharge. So that's the 5th slot. So try to put them where they kind of go. It doesn't really matter, but that way, yeah, it just makes me happy. My OCD happy. So the archetypes are specific to particular archetypes. There's 2 different ones for each build, and then there's the standard and superior. Catalysts will turn these into superior. Catalysts run 500,000 to 600,000 influence information, whichever side you're on. So as long as the difference from the standard to the superior, if it's greater than that, if it's like, if there's million, 2 million, 3 million is usually what it is. As long as it's within that range, I buy the cheap one. And then I end up getting catalysts from doing certain things, and then I hand them off to the players as needed. The first thing I catalyze is these to make them superior, because it doesn't quite always double, but it definitely gives a bump to the percentage of what it does. So let's go to the accuracy damage, since there's only two things there, 26.5 for both. So when you catalyze it to superior, it'll probably bump it up to like 30, 32-ish, maybe 35 even. Not a true double, but 10% more or more is really great. And then it also doubles the set bonus, because it's the superior set. And that'll probably be 10 to 12% for the 2 set bonus instead of 7. So that's 3 to 5% more, and so on down the line. So eventually this will get all catalyzed to superior, and it'll buff me up that much more. Same thing with this one. Does a little, see the 2 set bonus on this is 2.5% damage. This one's accuracy to all powers. So yeah. That might be a 15er. That one almost might. No, it's probably 12. 11 or 12, actually. I would think. I could look it up, but I'm just not going to look it up. And this is my current one that I'm working on, because she was just kind of next in the list. I don't have another one built all the way. I've got a second one that I'll do. See, she's doing Night Widow training. The other one will do Fortunata training, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So I crafted some stuff, as you can see. I catalyzed a few things because I crafted these, and then I got a set in that, and now I'm sending money to her as I get it, and as I farm and get the money, it'll go to her so she can get these bought first, and then I'll go through and do another round of checking and see if I have any recipes that I can craft to add for whatever's going in here. Although this one's rag, that one's probably a special one, this one's probably a special one. And then, you know, I'm missing 2 of those. These are global recharge from Luck of the Gambler, I'm sure. And then I don't think the Widow and the Soldier get the Epic or the Patron Power Pool. They might be able to get the Patron, and maybe not. So I just took Fly and Hover and base it on her. So yeah. So she's setting a little over 50%. It's pretty nice, you know. Like I say, I'm just sending her stuff and money to buy these right now. After she gets those archetypes bought, again, I'll go through, pull all the recipes, send them to my guys, get the ones that she needs, if I got any, craft them, and then yeah, she could. Nah, I won't check now. I don't think she's got any. I don't have any. I think there are a couple in there, maybe. Yeah, let's go check. Where's the dang portal? It's the other way. There it is. Let's see if we got some catalysts, and then I'll catalyze some, and you'll see a jump in those. Maybe it's not a crazy jump, but it's not insignificant either. No catalysts. That's what I thought. I thought I used them all. Alright, not a big deal. I want to pull her back out, though, so she can go away from the portal and get her Vanguard. Because I think that's what she's in the Vanguard base for getting her Vanguard day job.
because if she stays in, she'll pop out of the portal, but she won't be getting the stuff for this. So there we go. All right. Well, I think I'm taking a break for a moment, y'all. So I am gonna stop this crazy train. And yep, I'll be back a little later, hopefully, unless something else breaks down. So y'all have a good day, good evening, good afternoon, or whatever it is, wherever you are, or whenever you watch this. Later.